Hello, good morning. It is actually morning. No, jeez, it's already 11 o'clock. How'd that happen?
Still morning.
Still morning. Yep. Ryan Kruesi Originals, Trent Mercado, Kruesi Originals, Street Glide, Harley Davidson. Big build off. We are creeping down to 11 days. We have 11 days until we have to ride this motorcycle to Austin, Texas, all the way from Phoenix, Arizona, where we're at right now, for the great Harley Davidson YouTube build off. Today, we're just finishing up stuff. We have a whole lot of stuff still left to do. Trent is putting in all of the Santoro Fabworx stuff over here. The bike's also filthy, but she'll get detailed. Putting in just all this fancy hardware. This is all from Santoro Fab. We're replacing everything with this. This is just machined aluminum. Kind of goes along with some of the raw bits that are on this bike to kind of keep that whole flow going. Of just a raw hot rod machine. Did you loosen it up?
It's loose up there at the clamp, but like I don't think the clamp's like unsprung.
It's got to be like super loose.
Okay.
So the turbo's in the way of some of the stuff, and taking this turbo kit off and putting this turbo kit back on causes us a whole lot of extra work. So Trent's trying to work around everything on the turbo kit and get as much of that hardware swapped out as we can. If you come to the show to come judge us and you really get to looking, you'll probably see there's still some stock hardware underneath there just because you'll never get to see it, and we could use this hardware somewhere else, and it would take us about 10 extra hours to do that. So he's just finger shit right now, basically, is what's happening. It's gonna be a long day of that. I'm pulling the front end apart. There's a whole bunch of stuff I gotta do up here. We just got all the brake lines ordered. They should be here Thursday. Today is Tuesday. Front end is out. Looks like I have a little bit of a leaking fork seal. These guys were hiding that very nicely, so I'm gonna have to redo that. Also, I have TC Bros floating rotors on there, which I really like them. I really want to keep them, but they're 12.6, and the radial mount adapters I have from Twisted Tea Industries are only good for 13 and up, which they barely kind of fit in the 13s. So I have a set of 13s, some of our old mock-up rotors. They're good. We just use them for mock-up stuff most of the time. I'm going to run those. I like the way those ones look better, but that is what it is. I'm going to run these. I'm going to probably polish them up a little bit. And then we're going to pull the trees off of this, and we're going to put a brand new set of trees on. Some super dope shit. And I'm going to cut up the fairing, and we're going to get real crazy. Real crazy today on Kruesi Originals. Those are pretty fancy. A little bit bigger. You want to take a look? Line up with the hose. It's about a 1/4 inch bigger on the outside. Yeah, more than that, I guess. Just under a half. That's a big one. Ugh. This is not our pattern. This is not one of our brake rotors. This was just a mock-up style of one of our brake rotors to mock up a bike. But I warped the living shit out of mine because I got this glowing red on like a mile-long roller it was too much. I went overboard. This got real hot. This doesn't get hot. They warped pretty good. So noted, can't do rollers that long on solid front rotors. Floaters I think would hold up a little bit better as long as you didn't like melt the carriers out, which that tends to happen a lot too. So it's kind of, I guess if you're just doing long rollers, you just pay the price, is what it is. I'm gonna pull that dude off there. I'm gonna put these guys on there. I'm gonna clean that wheel really nice. This whole bike needs detailed, which we'll have that done when the bike's done, but I like to clean the pieces as I go just because it keeps my hands cleaner. I like that too. There's a lot of Loctite on that bad boy right there. That is a lot of Loctite. You got a bolt with that much Loctite on it, and then you go hit it with a gun. It's probably gonna gall up and take the aluminum with it. Put you in a bad situation. So I do it by hand on expensive things like these wheels. It's the TC Bros rotors. Trent runs these on his stunt bikes. First time I've ran them, I like them. It's nice. They help me out in a pinch when I needed a rotor, so they hooked me up with these. Super nice setup. We sell these on the website. They're available at KruesiOriginals.com. These get you some entries and a Nightster that we're giving away right now. And they're super nice. It's probably some of the only floaters that we've used that these guys have not rattled themselves out of yet. All right, new shit. clock it a few ways and see which one looks the best. I think that's it. At least it shows off the bunny nice and neat.
Yeah, it puts the bunny in the window. That's nice.
Gates closed, but doors open. Are we out of red Loctite, you say? Except for this giant vat. Just dipping into my giant box of Loctite from one of our fans. Little Paisley, thank you very much. I literally don't think we could ever use up all of the Loctite and thread sealant that they sent us. It was amazing.
I'm one bolt away from showing off my work over here.
Trent is one bolt away from showing off his work over there.
Half of it.
That means, who knows? Probably has to do with no pants, if I would imagine. It's a proper amount of Loctite. Blow it into the threads, make it real nice. They're just straight raw stainless, kind of goes with the rest of the look of the bike too. High strength thread locker, Loctite. I've always said, man, we need a Loctite sponsorship. Because I used to preach Loctite so hard. Everybody, Loctite, Loctite, Loctite. Because on a Harley, you need Loctite.
They didn't bring that up once at MMI when I went.
Sure could use some Loctite sponsorship. Because, man, this right here, I've never bought one this big because this is way out of my price range. But this is probably an $85 bottle of Loctite, easily. The little small ones are like 40 to 50, I think. So, we have a box this big that a fan sent us full of Loctite. Absolutely unbelievable. And all he asked was, please give my daughter Paisley a shout out on the YouTube. We watched together, so all day, Paisley, all day. Thank you, Paisley. You are the coolest little kid in the entire planet. Man, this is a lot. This is priceless. I'm gonna torque these to 22 foot-pounds. Once I get my torquing wrench, those are 5/16 bolts. 18 to 22 foot-pounds. They're ARP, so they will handle probably 25 realistically, but it's unnecessary. Such a good looking wheel. I don't know if I could ever top this wheel again.
Transmission housing and primary are all done. All of these nice, pretty bolt things. Now I got to do the cam cover and the rocker box. This is all the tools that I had to get out to do it too.
Is it a plethora? Did you say you have a plethora?
Yeah. I don't like to go back and forth, so when I think it's one size, I'll grab like that size and the one above and below it. Tools. Now I gotta do all of these, which these are gonna be really easy to get to. I'm not worried about this. And then the rocker boxes will be kind of a bitch, but not bad because they don't have those lines going over the top. I just did this job on my Fat Bob, actually.
All right.
This is another episode of Tinkering with Trent. Today we put the Santoro Fabworx hardware kit. I forgot what they call it. Put it here. This is what it's called. I don't know how to pronounce it. Got everything done on this. So yes, you can get to everything without having to take the turbo off, right? This is how many tools it takes. It is a copious amount of tools.
And one C4.
And a C4. That's it. It's all done. Still have to do the derby cover. I just noticed that. So this has been my whole day. Watch, check it out. Pull one out. Come over here. Pull a derby cover out. This is a... So there's two different sizes. This is 20 to 22 soft tails, but this is for touring. Then you grab one of these guys, put that in, a little bit of Loctite, back in the bike. And then, boom, and then on to the next one. It's been my whole day.
Hello and hi. I am removing the old triple trees and all this stuff. I'm gonna have to pull the gas tank, which I kind of forgot about because I need to pull all the ABS lines all the way back to the box. I'm gonna disassemble all this, get the other trees mocked up, and kind of just go from there. Because I kind of got to do some modifications to the trees. I really wish that I could just not have to take this clutch cable off because it's kind of a pain in the ass. I'm trying to do this as easy peasy as possible. Done, done, done. I'm gonna take this tree off, lay a towel down here, lay this down on the floor, zip these off the tree, and then we'll get back to it. bunch of shit hanging from my bike. Bunch of shit hanging from my bike. Hanging from my bike. Probably should put something underneath that. Yeah, she won't be there long. I'm gonna pop all these brake lines out of here, all the way back. Whoops, it's a nice little setup. Oh, what am I hung up on? It's on your side somewhere. Oh, it's the electrical.
Disconnect.
Oh, give me some slack. Good. Here we are, I'm back. I'm all back, mostly back. Trees are off, we already tore the front end apart. I don't remember what we filmed yesterday or what we did. It's been a bit of a fog this week, but here we are. Trees are going on. I'm gonna press this dude right here. I've got her lubed up with a little bit of anti-seize in the hole, which you probably can't see, but that's just so I don't pull a bunch of material when I press this. The stem is in the freezer, chilling. I'm gonna heat this dude. We'll put it in the press. Rocky was a great movie. We're gonna press that all together. We're gonna put that in. Trent just pulled all the ABS lines off. That is gone. New brake lines are ordered. We are leaving the back hooked up, which we really will have to plug that off because does the brake fluid from the rear and the front tie in together? Do they modulate that shit with the ABS? Well, I also have to machine spacers to take place of the banjo fitting. That's gonna cap off the ABS module. I'm gonna leave the module in, leave the rear hooked up. It will not be functioning, but I wanna leave it all hooked up so the computer still thinks it has ABS. Because I took it out completely in my 21 and it caused like some weird issues where the speedo and the gas gauge never worked again. So I don't want to deal with that. This is the first bike I've ever had in my life that has a working gas gauge. It's pretty handy, let me tell you what. Here's my little press plate. I really don't want to bugger up any of that shit because it's really pretty. So what's gonna happen? This dude's gonna go here. This dude's gonna go here. Oh, it's gonna be a bitch. That's not gonna work. Yes, it is. We're gonna be fine. Molecules get bigger when they get hotter, they get smaller when they get colder. So we heat the aluminum, it expands. We freeze the shaft, it shrinks. This gets big, that's small. Choop. She presses in really nice. Then they get down to the same temperature and they are stuck together for life. Mostly. You could press them out again if you wanted to, I guess.
If you've been a subscriber for quite a long time and keep up with the videos, you'll remember a video that Dave Chase did back in the day on how to pack bearings. You don't just lather a bunch of shit on the bearing and call it good. You gotta really pack the bearing.
Dave Chase gave me this sweatshirt, and if you know what the sweatshirt is all about, then you know. Comment down below and tell me what Crom means to you. And go message Dave Chase on Instagram and tell him what's up. Tell him you love him. We miss him.
Dave B. Chase on Instagram.
Yep, Dave B. Chase. He was the man. Trent, finish your tutorial.
Yeah, you can go back on that video and get the whole tutorial, but I'm just packing the neck bearings on this guy so they're ready to go.
Oh, wow. That was such a, we had video when I tried to put it in before, right? Dude, it just fell in. It was so tight, I thought for sure I was gonna be peeling aluminum off of this thing when I went to fit this up originally, and fork me. God, I hope I put it in the right way. That's gotta be the bearing seat. Dude, it just dropped right in with this. This has been in the freezer for 30 hours plus. This thing's hot. She's already solid. I wasn't getting past the first ridge down here before, which is smaller. That's a hell of a good trick. Well, that was the easiest stem press I've ever done. On to bearing. The shaft is frozen. I'm hoping she just drops right on. And not gonna happen. She's a press fit all the way. Damn it, I gotta have something that big.
This guy works.
Does it sit on the inside?
Take the bolts out, yeah.
And it's like the outside of the... There we go.
There it goes.
And got it. Easy f***ing peasy.
Oh man, you were melting the housing on. That's why. Oh, dude.
She toasted down there?
Yeah, look at the back of this thing.
Oh, lovely.
It's like melted together
The
with
plastic sleeve part?
Yeah. Wow, dude, you were about to lose your clutch cable for sure.
I gotta put the clutch in still too.
Yeah.
God bless
What
America.
do we do with this?
I don't know how this shit all goes
Dude,
together.
you might need a new cable if we can't get that adjuster out. What the do we do with this guy?
So, these are all universal, so you can use these trees on from the very beginning bagger to the newest bagger all the way to 24. It's all universal, so this would be your 14 to like 20 something. And then this is an adapter because you had to make a whole new stem for the 24s. They're very different. You just put this sleeve in. The kit comes with everything. This tree set comes with everything you need to do whatever you need to do. This guy lines up with the notch right there. These guys are keyed. Just gotta give her a little squeeze. Locks into place. And this dude goes on here. Sleeves that guy. This dude tightens her down onto it. I'm gonna have to do some machining because this is the prototype one, and they told me this standoff is too tall. I need to turn it down, but this will not fit in my lathe because the butt of this is too big. So I'm gonna have to probably stick this dude in the lathe, mill it out the end, and make it a pass-through. Which that will probably look pretty cool, actually. Oh, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I've got her figured out. That's exciting. Let's put them on and see what they look like. Let's put them on and see what they look like. It always trips me out putting bagger trees on because they're backwards. Like a dyno would always be like this. Bagger's backwards because of the weird neck on them. The 3-swing neck. All right, I got myself in a situation.
Ooh, wow, I almost cut my finger off right there. Crazy.
June, could you hand me that dust shield? Now would you hand me that triple tree right there? Okay, I need that. I need the nut that doesn't have any writing on top. This is the one. I want to see what kind of depth I got to figure out to make up for the height of the stem. And what I'm going to do to modify this, I think I'm going to drill it through and make it a through bolt. Oh, I don't have a socket this big either. I really need the tool guy to come through. So that's bottomed out. She is way too short. So this one is going to hold this guy in place right now. They'll go like this. I'm going to drill the other one and make it a pass-through so it just goes all the way through. That's the easiest way. And I think it'll look nice, kind of give it that industrial look of having the bolt come all the way through the top, which no one will see because there'll be a fairing over it, so it's totally pointless. It's for my own entertainment, but that's what I'm going to try and do. It's going to look sick.